everyone, welcome to my live stream. I need to take a second because I realize I'm on the wrong thing on Twitch. I was just on my page. I need to be on the creator dashboard. There we go. Okay, yay. I'm so glad. At least for now, the bitrate is green. Even though I have the notes still in my planner, I did not try to troubleshoot. I just forgot over the weekend, and I don't want to work on the weekend anyway. And then I didn't have time until now, and it's time to stream. So, anyway, my name is Denise Hutchins, and I am broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. I also need to fix my monitor. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for more illustration work. Before we get started on that, let me introduce my charity of the month. It is Food for Life Global, so help me help others by watching my stream. At the end of the month, I'll make a donation based on my unique viewers count. So all you have to do is come and chill out with me and bring your friends. Or you can make a donation directly using the donate button on Twitch. I have a little matching. I usually end up donating $10 based on my formula, and so I have a little matching donation goal? Yeah, a donation goal set up on Twitch as well. So the illustration we're working on today, same one we've been working on for at least a couple weeks now, because what is this? Part 8? So that's like three or 4 weeks. Oh yeah, and I was basically done with it. Yeah! Awesome. I forgot where I was on this. I'm so happy to see it. I'm almost done. Okay, so let me, so if anybody is watching this and has not seen the previous, I want to call them episodes, not episodes, previous streams. First, so this is the first time I've ever done this. I live streamed my brainstorming work as well, because I was just like, I don't have time. So I brainstormed on stream, including, I always start with a word list. I have my basic idea, which is Birthday Gryphon, and then I had Baby Gryphon birthday, and then I did all this word brainstorming, putting words together, and then writing a scene. And the scene comes to me as I write. That really helped me with the next thing after brainstorming. The final bits of brainstorming includes more ideas and figuring out what animals I want to put together to create the Gryphon. The next thing I did was thumbnail sketches. Yay! So, super proud of myself. And it's thanks to live streaming. So I think I actually will live stream as much as I can of my process, depending on the piece, of course. But I usually never fill up a whole page. I only missed one. Normally it's like half, and then I'm like, that's good enough, because doing these is actually really hard. But this is from the different one, Summer Gryphon. But I picked the one I liked out of here, which is this top middle one. And then I did sketches in my sketchbook larger. I love, this is my pigeon Sora. I don't remember why it was sketch suggestion from Sarah Quill on Twitch from February 3rd last year. This is the first sketch in my sketchbook, and it's my my pigeon Sora that's all poofy and protective of her nest. That's what that was about. I see that every time I open my sketchbook, and it makes me laugh. Anyway, the next thing that I did were some sketches of the animals that I wanted to put together to create Gryphons. So this is Little Pied Cormorant, and this is Tiger Quoll, which is the back half. And some details of the feet. And I've been this is useful not just to get my hand and mind used to what these creatures look like, but also I can then use my own sketches as reference later, which is what I have been doing recently. But the next step was some larger sketches to work out composition, contrast, etc. And so I got all that done. And since then I've been working on this, the final sketch. And we've got this tracing paper on here because last time I was adding the final details to really make it seem like a birthday scene. So here's this, it's covered by the tape, but this little bit of party banner you can see. And I was like, I want to add more party banners, but it's such a busy scene already. So I used the tracing paper to add another banner here and just see if I liked how it looked or if it was too much. And I did like how it looked, so I kept it. And then I have another tiny piece of banner over here, and I realized it's, well, the sketch paper, the tracing paper wasn't big enough, so I just drew it directly on because I thought that was nice. Now that I have gone through all of that, I wasn't just doing that to explain to viewers who have not been watching my stuff from the beginning, which this is part 8, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of people who haven't watched all of it. 8 2-hour streams is 16 hours of watching. That's like a season of a show. Anyway, the final thing I was working on last time, I forgot I added the little party hats and stuff. Okay, the final thing I was working on was adding some of the flowers that are, let's see if I can, I have flowers on these banners. And over here they get a little bigger. And so decorating the nest and the biggest version of the flower of all, in this corner, I wanted to add 2 or 3. So that's all I think that's left for this, unless I want to add some more party banners like right here or something. But it really is, there's so much already going on that I think that's good for the party banners. And then we have these flowers. I like having them close up, not just to fill this space with something interesting, but because then you can see the big detailed version, and you can tell, hopefully, if I draw it well, you can tell that, oh, here's the smaller version of the same flower, and oh, here's more of these flowers, which are super simplified because they're way in the background, but the viewer can use their imagination to see into the background thanks to this little area with the close-up flowers. That's my idea anyway. What I need to do now, I believe I saved the photo that I was working from for these flowers, so I just got to get that up. Oh, where would it be? Downloads? Pictures, maybe under pictures? Yes. So this is the flower. I think I either looked up Australian flowers or New Zealand flowers because both of the animals are from that area. Hold on. There's like dust on my phone screen and that drives me crazy. I hate doing my finger and then there's like a little ball of dirt or something. I'm like, I don't want to feel that. Anyway, that was distracting me, so I had to like wipe my screen on my shirt. Now I've got this nice and zoomed in so I can see these beautiful flowers and continue adding them to the scene. And then we should just be able to, well, unless I'm gonna, I gotta think about how I want to do this. Do I want to redraw this, or do I just want to, because I'm going to trace it onto another piece of tracing paper. Well, I'll figure out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Alright, I was going to draw on my sketchbook, but I don't need that. I need my favorite clipboard. Aha. I like to use these clipboards because then my paper doesn't stick to my... It's like a vinyl topper for my desk. This is a hand-me-down desk, and it had all kinds of gouges and scratches and pits in it. I was like, I can't draw on this. So I bought this and cut it to size and put it on there. But paper just it either gets a cushion of air, because this is a drafting table, so it's like this. It doesn't go... I guess I could make it go flat, but if it's flat, then it has to be up higher, which is harder for me because I'm short. But I either put the paper down and then there's like a cushion of air, and so the paper just flies right off the desk. Or if I put it down good and there's no cushion of air, then it's stuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's such a pain to try to move it. And when you're drawing, I think it's much nicer to be able to move the picture around, because your hand has a natural way that it wants to move, and you have to, if you're having to do this a lot, then you just won't be able to get the lines you want necessarily. But if you can move the page around to accommodate the natural movement of your hand, then it's way easier, faster, it's less physically taxing on your muscles and joints and everything. There's the pet hair on here. Okay, I got it. All right. I'm finally ready. I'm finally done with my... How much explanation was that? 11 minutes. 11 minutes of explanation. Okay. What I want to do actually is not start with drawing, but start with erasing. This one's going to be too big, because it's really confusing right here for me. I've drawn this first flower... That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even tell how many petals I've drawn, because I'd already drawn the nest in the background. I didn't think of adding flowers there until the end of this. So I need to erase so that I can see what's meant to be flower and what's meant to be nest behind the flower. Oh, Exie is here. Hello! I'm early? Am I really? What? Oh! I was like, what the heck? How am I early? I've been running late all day. You gave me a start. It was daylight savings time. It was daylight savings time on Sunday. Oh, it scared me so much. I was like, what? What am I doing? Yeah, okay, for you at least, yeah. I even knew that was gonna happen, but I forgot by now. On Sunday, I was like, oh yay, I'll be early for Exie, because I became late, because you told me that now my stream was even an hour later, and it was already really late for you last time in the fall, and I remembered that. I'm like looking at my watch. I don't know what time it is. How did I have a whole extra hour? How are you? Did you have a great weekend? I hope you did. I see. I didn't even draw enough petals on here. I only drew 4 petals, unless this is meant to be a petal. Or maybe this is. I gotta fix this. I'm confused about what I have drawn here. Man, for a second I really did doubt myself. Did I start? But then I was like, wait. My husband took the dogs out, and he always takes the dogs out right before my stream for me, so that they don't need to go potty while I'm streaming. So that was like, wait, no, it has to be okay. It must be okay. Alright, I drew these little, what are these, stamen? I can't remember, the little things that stick out. The little flower's reproductive organs. I have to erase them because I can't tell. I've only drawn 4 petals, or at least I've drawn it in a way that I can't tell where the 5th one is supposed to be, and these are 5-petaled. And I want to get it right, because the whole point of this, well, not the whole point, a point of this is to give all the details so that the viewer can then apply that to these smaller and less detailed ones in the background. I wonder if this was meant to be... Okay, I'm just going to erase everything right here. Whether it's background stuff or what. It's probably because I drew this toward the end of my stream and I knew the clock was ticking down the final minutes. So I did it kind of in a rush. Okay, so here's one petal. Here's the other petal. Oh, maybe that's what I need. I need to make this other one bigger. So much erasing today. But once I get this corner done, it's time to transfer, and then it won't be this blue that is terrible to capture on live stream and doesn't look like anything and is not attractive to new viewers. I'm so aware of that. I'm like, nobody wants to look at my stream because it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. But that's a part of the process, though. Ah, that's much better. That's much better for that. Made this petal bigger. Oh, you're welcome. I'm always happy to hear that you're doing all right. How are you? Oh, yeah, I'm doing great, too. I had a bit of a rough time sleeping, and I couldn't get up. But once I got up, and I went out and did my run, I did an X-Men run from Marvel Move, and I've just been in a good mood ever since, so... Yep, I'm doing great. I'm going to see if my tea is cool enough to drink yet. Oh, why won't it come out? Ah, the tea bag was blocking it. I'm like trying to pour and nothing is coming. Ooh, it's still, it's pretty hot, but not, it's drinkable. It's actually like the perfect temperature for sipping tea. Has anything cool been happening for you, Exy? How's your project 880? How's your project 880 going? Okay, and these petals are facing toward the viewer, so they're gonna look a lot shorter because of foreshortening. Okay, I see. If this one is gonna be this big, I need to move a bunch of stuff. Okay. I keep having to erase because this just isn't gonna work. It's the current layout I was trying to do for this flower makes it so that not all the petals can be about the same size, which is me no likey. So I'm actually just going to draw little circles to help place them. Ah, so this one needs to be overlapping. These ones are going to be apart, then this one needs to be overlapping. So that's where we're losing some space. Okay. So I just draw 3 basic circles right here so that I could get the spacing and the size right, and now I can draw the petals on those circles. All the same. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, so I mean, unless you don't like it, but I think that steady as she goes is my life seems to be the most comfortable when that's the case, so I hope that it's the same for you. This tea is so good. It was pretty warm earlier, but I took off my hoodie and now I'm getting cold again, so I'm glad to have the warm tea. My studio gets quite warm during streaming, but I'm only just started right now, so it hasn't warmed up yet. And it's super windy outside. I wonder if we're going to get some more storms. We had some rainstorms yesterday, which is my fave. At first I thought they all went by without actually reaching us, and I was like, I didn't get to enjoy any of the rain. I was all disappointed. And then it started raining, and I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Mother Nature, for obliging. There we go. Okay, so it looks like there's just 2 of... All right, I gotta look it up. I like using the proper term. I think it's stamen, though. The little thing that sticks up in the middle of a flower. Oh, here we go. Here's the wonderful picture. It is. Yay! I'm so happy. Here's the picture of it. Stamen is these little things sticking up like this. They're a little 2-part thing. The anther is the little nub on the top, and the filament is the long part. Oh, good. Lexi says, yeah, it's all fine. Wonderful. Yay, we can both just keep cruising along then. Enjoying life. Okay, so only 2 stamen apparently on this flower. And they seem to be on either side. Like maybe so bees can get in the middle or something. Who knows? Okay, got that. Nice, nice. Now this area where the petals meet, it seems to have a little dark circle. I don't know if it's like an overlap thing or what's happening exactly, but I'll include that on the 2 areas where we'd see it, which is here and here. Finally, one of these flowers done. I wanted to add 3. Cleaning up some of the sketches now. Some of those sketch lines, especially those little circles I drew. Oh, I remember, before I go on to tracing, I want to put some red lines on top of this to make it more clear what I want to keep and what is just a sketch that doesn't erase away too well. One flower down. Where do I want to put another one? Right here? I have a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, I could have like just some petals coming in on this side. Yeah, let's do that. Scooting this as far away from this as possible. Let's look at another flower. I'll have it go up like this. Yeah, man, we'll just leave it like that. Just one little petal showing right here. Okay. And we'll put one right here. Although I wonder, so these flowers are interesting growing in this circle like this. Wonder if I should actually have more, a little bit more overlap after all, because I realize now that these are not arranged this way. It's not a coincidence that, oops, that they are growing in a circle like this. They're all radiating out from, oh, you can't really see, but they're all radiating out from the central point where this green bit is, and there's these little black stems that they're all coming out from. Of course, this could be just these individual flowers decorating, clipped from that central bit. just like with these. Okay, so it has to make sense logically in my mind, and then that helps me decide whether to change it or not. So we'll leave this the way it is and add another one right here. So let's have the center be right here. Petal here, petal here, petal here. All right. All right, good, 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 good. And this middle part. Okay, let's erase some of this stuff that's now covered. That has now been covered by the flower petals. Picking up the little eraser bits. Oh, one went all the way down on my... Oh, no, it's not. It's a... How did I do that? I have a chip in my little protective cover thing for my desk. Yosh! Yay! I think that's good. So now I shall get out my red colored pencil. I guess I can hold this up to show it, but the red will help, help it be seen. Here's these little flowers. One almost whole one, like a half a one, and just a little tiny bit of a petal right there, just to decorate the corner. And bring the flowers from the very background all the way to the foreground. So well, you can't really see them, but they're teeny tiny back here, and then there's the big ones in the corner. Okay. I don't always feel the need to use this red pencil, but this time I do, because this is a very, especially this corner. Some of these things I think I would be able to see fine. Yeah, like right here, I think I could see this stuff fine through the tracing paper. But there's other areas I just want to make clear for myself by adding a red line on top so it's more visible. And of course, I would never use a red line on top if I meant to get rid of the sketch through scanning it after inking it so that I didn't have to erase, because the red doesn't really remove the same way. It doesn't remove so easily in Photoshop the way you can get rid of the blue. I just specifically got this red pencil for this kind of thing. really need to. Oh, it is so confusing right here. I need to add red all over this place. I'm having to think fairly hard too. Oh, Aoife just heaved a big sigh. To remember, as some lines I've erased, and so like right here, this needs a line put in. There's no line there now because I erased it in order to draw this flower. There, I think that's good, and then this stick is on top. These I can all see fairly well. Okay, see you in a second. Ah, this is on top. Man, right here you can barely tell which of these sticks is meant to be on top of the other one. I don't want to have to redraw everything. So I'm doing my best to just look for stuff where it really is unclear. And then clarify it for myself with these extra lines. Because I'm already going to have to redraw this 2 times and maybe 3 times if you consider coloring on the back to get the graphite on. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think we'll be able to get there today. So, and then you'll find out. You'll find out what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, here. I had to redraw this hand, and it's fairly distinct now. But just in case, I'm going to add extra lines on top. There. I'm so excited for this scene. I was just looking at this parent dropping the cupcake, and this one looks so happy, and this one's like, yay, my cupcake! That's how I know that I am a successful illustrator, because my own work pleases me. I'm happy with what I'm making, and that's success. If you're happy with what you're doing, then I think that's success. So let's see, should I... Yeah, I think I'll just try and see if I can trace on top of the tracing paper. Oh, that's going to be a pain though. Ooh. So I've never actually done this for... I've done this for other things, but not exactly in this application. And I'm trying to figure out if I should redraw this now onto this page, or if I should just let this stay here and put the tracing paper that's going to become a transfer paper, put that on top. But having 2 layers of tracing paper I think would make it hard. Plus, this is being covered by the tape right now. Maybe I shall do just a little small bit of tracing here. I think that's actually the best solution. So I'm just going to push this up like this and move this down for a second. This will be a little preview of what I'm going to do to the whole thing in a second. In fact, there might be enough graphite on this tortillon to okay, so it's going to be transferred in graphite, but that's just how it's going to have to be because the transfer won't work with colored pencil. It's too clean. That's why I like colored pencils. They're not dirty like graphite and charcoal gets freaking everywhere. I don't like messy materials. But they do have their uses. This takes that messiness. The reason why it's messy is the reason why it works. Okay, so I've just put that on the back. Now I'm going to swing this back down. Flatten the tape. Stick that in there. And now, let's see, what shall I do? Use pen on top of colored pencil? It doesn't usually work too well. I'll just use the pencil again. Right now it's just a really basic sketch, so I'm going to do a similar thing to here where I have the flowers. I'm going to draw the flowers in. And it should transfer the graphite onto the page below. Been thinking for a while, how am I going to address this part? I think this is the way to go. My Garmin wants me to move. Time to move, it says. Nope. Not yet. What time is it? Nope, still 20 minutes before break time. Just barely there, but I think it'll be enough for me to work with. And then that's also great because then I can just redraw it with the blue so that the sketch all looks the same. Okay, time to draw this again using this light sketch that's been transferred. I don't know if it actually matters whether it was graphite for this or this blue colored pencil, but it just feels good psychologically for me to have it be all the same. All colored pencil. So I had this being tied and the little knot hanging down right here. I even drew it just now. But I'm not going to keep that because it's so much happening right here because there's a flower here, the flag here, the line right here, and then adding that knot on top of that, it's just so much for such a tiny little area that does not need that amount of visual attention. Yay! Now that means I'm done with this. The tape pulled up. Look at that. Oh, there, I think you can see it now. The tape pulled up the colored pencil. Fold this down. And we can set this over here for now. Okay, now that that's done, I see one little area where I'll add a little red. I might not need the help. Oh, my bit rate is terrible again. Oh, it went green right as I noticed it. I still don't know what's going on with that. I didn't have time to check it out. I thought maybe if I could get my coloring page done today fairly quickly that I could take a look, but nope. There, right there. I suppose here, where all these strings are coming out of their party hats, it's a little bit confusing. And this one's tail. And it goes all the way over here. And then this one's tail comes out this way. All right. Let's try transferring. So what I need first is a full-size sheet of tracing paper. I'm going to go around here to my paper storage. I might be having a dream. Or maybe she was just stretching. It's hard to tell because she keeps moving, but her eyes are open. Oh, she's closing them. I think she's having a dream. Aoife is my big dog. She's sleeping over here under the desk over here. Chappie's in here too, my small dog. She's over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is attach this tracing paper to my sketch. It doesn't have to be super even, but I really prefer to make it as even as possible, just so it's not a visual distraction for me. Alright, so I'm just going to take some artist tape, tape it to the back, but I like to tape it so I won't tape the whole thing all the way around. I like to tape it so it's a hinge, and then that way I can keep lifting up and making sure that it looks right, 'cause sometimes you just can't quite tell what you meant to do on one little section, so you need to look at the original, not at the tracing paper version. Okay, so put that on that side. Artist tape is great because as long as the paper is robust enough, it comes off cleanly. I found out the hard way that if you use some of that super cheapo paper that you can get at some art supply stores, it's like marketed toward kids, or unfortunately it's marketed towards like students or beginners or something, but then that makes people think that they hate art or that they can't do art because they're using sub-quality materials, and it's not them, it's the materials. So anyway, as long as you use it on a decent quality piece of paper, it will come off clean. Oh, welcome back! So great to have you back. I'm gonna take another sip of delicious. I think this is still the birthday cake tea, which is perfect for this drawing. Okay, got this taped so that it can be, so that the paper can be lifted whenever I need to see. Yep, having that red is really, that is so good. Okay. I always forget my own methods. So I'm going to get my previous entries in this series. Well, series, I've only done one other one, but I'm using the same method as my seasonal griffins. So I just want to see, how did I do this? I think I traced it with graphite first. Or was it with... It's so hard to tell once it's on, once it's got the graphite on the back. I definitely did not use the blue colored pencil, which makes sense because the waxiness can make it really hard for a pen to write on top of it. So I think I might have used my mechanical pencil. Mechanical graphite pencil. Okay. Put that away. Put this back in the closet. My art storage bin. Oh. Hold on a sec. Off. Hold on a sec, everyone. There's a dog barking, like, in the house, and my dogs are with me. So, I'm gonna be right back and see what the heck is going on. I'm back, everybody. Chappie is still very concerned. Unfortunately, the neighbors' dogs got out of their yard and were barking at the delivery person who was delivering our, I don't know, I think it was our groceries or something. Oh, that was very startling, though, because it was like it was coming right in the house, like a dog got in the house or something. And so Chappie is still at the door barking. Oh, Wolf got here. Hello! Hello, Wolf! How are you? You arrived just in time for me to be dealing with a weird issue. And Chappie is still barking. It's okay, Chappie, come here. It's okay, I know, it was scary. It's like some dogs came in the house. It seems like everybody's alright anyway, so. It's okay, Chappie. She can't. Oh, perfect timing. Yep. That was very startling. Because y'all know, I've had Chappie bark because someone's coming downstairs or someone's knocking on the door or something, but I've never had both of my dogs in my room and then there's the sound of dogs, like, coming in the house, like mystery dogs. So, anyway. It's okay, Chappie. It's okay. Good Chappy. Okay, let's get back to work. So I am now ready, after that weird interruption, to start tracing the first round of tracing. Or I guess this is the only tracing? No, it's still tracing as long as you're following a line, an existing line. So I go through 2 tracings to transfer. Chappy, it's okay. There you go. Go lay down. Very good, girl. Very good, girl. Okay. It's kind of hard to focus, actually, because I'm all... Ugh. Oh, that's why you look different. My brain was all over the place just now, and I was like, what? Something looks different about Wolf in the chat. It's because you offered to be my mod, so that in case somebody raids me, I don't forget to give them a shout out like last time. I'm not good at multitasking. So it's going to be very helpful to have it, at least when you can be here. I'm extremely grateful that you'll be able to help me out with that kind of thing. Okay. Chappy is still doing her little boof barks. Oh, really? That makes it a lot easier for me. Let me see something. Got it? So cool. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. What if I click on Xe? I'm not seeing it. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I still don't see it. I followed you. Huh. Well, I'll just try to... Maybe it'll give me something if I right-click or... No, right-click. I don't think right-click would do anything different. No, because it's in the browser. Well, I will just see what happens if I get another raid sometime. I'm always learning so much about Twitch. What I would really like to do eventually is set up that bot so it just automatically does it. There is a way to do it, but it was not as easy as I hoped, so I have not set it up. Okay. There's so many little splotches of cake on this griffin's face. I gotta keep looking. And oh, okay, that's the top of the head. I was like, what is this fuzzy stuff? It's like, oh, it's the top of the griffin's head. Ah, it's bugging me. I've got to... How to shout out on Twitch. Because having to type it that is the problem. for me to make it easy. My setup doesn't quite work. I have wired keyboard in, so there's not room for a keyboard anyway, and so I don't have a keyboard over here. I could get on my phone, but that's like this extra thing that I'm having to remember to do. If I could like quickly reach over and right click and... Well, here's Twitch. Help. Help.twitch.tv. Let's take a look. Initiate, type, / shout out. Yup. Okay. I know that one. What about... Channel receiving. Yeah, it doesn't even talk about how it's different on the app. It only talks about it, how you do it from the chat bar. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're so lucky to have the iPad. You have an extra thing. Okay, well, I'm glad I wasn't just, like, missing something then. Okay. Back to me illustration. Cake face Gryphon. Man, it is windy outside. It's been windy for, I don't know, maybe hours now. But it's super bright and sunny, which is my least favorite weather. So I hope that this wind is indicating that another storm system's coming in. I like my clouds. Fill the sky with clouds. Part is so small, but even though it looks fairly clear on the main sketch, once the tracing paper goes on top, it's hard to tell what I'm looking at. Lots of teeny tiny lines right here for the fuzzy baby feathers. Okay. Now the wing. All right, what's this? I have something here, and I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's right next to the feet. Is it supposed to be more cake splatted on top? It doesn't look like it, though. It just looks like... Oh, I think it's meant to be a feather. Okay. This is what I was talking about. I get confused by what my own sketch is meant to be, but this is a feather from the parent's wing. Okay. And here's another feather. Okay. And only 3 claws are showing on this side. So the idea is that the hand is rotating away in space and you can't see the 4th one. Ah, this is so much better. This is so much more visible now. It's this stage. I really got to pay attention now to what is in front of what here. I'm actually going to come back up real quick and draw this little section. Okay, so I'm left-handed, so I'm trying to work from left, right, right to left so I don't smudge too much. So I'm going to come over here and do these big flowers that I just drew today. And the stuff behind them, the nest. Still feeling kind of riled up from that dog encounter, I guess you could call it. Ooh, I don't like it. I am worried that people are not going to want to deliver to our house if the neighbor's dogs comes and attacks them. Alright, don't need to think about it right now. I gotta think about my drawing. Oh, it's past break time. Let me finish this little section because I'm in the groove right here. I don't want to stop just to stop, at least. Oh, that's a leaf. Okay. Just the top edge of the nest. Okay. I got that little part done. Okay, that's good, that's good. So it's break time, yay! Actually, I'll hold this up so you can see. I mean, you can already see so much better. Now that it's not only blue. Here's how the tracing is coming along so far. Okay. It's not going to refocus. Nope. Camera is not feeling it today. Okay. Now I'm going to be right back for break time, not for weird, sudden happening time. Set this right there. And I'm going to go stretch and do all the wonderful things. I hope everybody else will take a little break too. I will be back in 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I am back. I hope that we all had a wonderful break. I stretched out my back. My back has been killing me today. So I did a lot of back stretches just now. That was mostly what I did during that break. Different forms of lower back stretching. Alright, back to this illustration. We've got a whole hour, so might be able to get at least this fully traced. And maybe even started on transferring it down to the final watercolor sheet. Oh, thank you. Welcome back to you too. Almost breathed in my tea. My lungs said, no, what are you doing? Chappie had to run around the house looking for the dogs, trying to find where those dogs were. Okay, here comes the super teeny tiny details area. Got some leaves sticking out of the nest, but they're on the back side of the nest, so they're very small. I drew them fairly cleanly to start with, so I didn't put any red colored pencil down to make it clearer. Dang it, my contact already feels like it needs another eye drop. Well, I'm just gonna have to hang in there. I got contacts because glasses were getting so frustrating to deal with. I'd never had contacts except as costume accessories for cosplay. And now I'm like, for all of the benefits, for all of the problems that I avoid, there are just as many different problems that come with having contacts. Like, I just can't win. All in all, I do prefer having contacts, though, because when I go running, I don't have to have like a special band on or get special lenses for my athletic sunglasses and that kind of thing. So this is way better. And I don't have to deal with fogging when I wear a mask and stuff, so definitely prefer contacts as long as they continue to work for me. I think this is another foot. Oh, this is another area where there's a lot going on, and there's sticks standing on the sticks. For some reason, I imagine this is the dad one, and this is the mom one. It's off camera. I don't know why, though, because they look the same. I didn't draw them to have any dimorphism. But in my mind, this is the dad. Just looking to make sure I did not miss any. There is an area where I drew too long of a line right here. There. It's funny, the dogs switched beds when we came back from break, so now Chappie is on this side, which isn't unheard of, but unusual, and Aoife's on this side. Alright, where should I start for this one? Maybe I'll start from the top down for this. So I've got like this column done, and now we're going to do this column here, and I think I'll start at the top. Spiky top of the head. I love the spiky feathers. They don't always have it. I think it's like a little crest that they can move up and down or something. But I like it, so I'm giving all of these griffins that. Maybe they all put it up because it's in celebration. Some things I need to draw first, even though they're not first from top to bottom, because I need to know where these lines are going to go so that I can draw the lines for this. So here it's the wing feathers. I need to draw this beak first, even though it's lower. That way I know where the lines go exactly for the wing feathers. Okay, cupcake time. I'm always trying to use my fingers to press the tracing paper down, because even just a tiny little bit of space in between makes it really hard to see the detail. So if I can find a place to put my fingers that's hopefully not on these lines that I've already drawn, then it makes it a lot easier to see the drawing underneath. Especially for these little teeny tiny details like the sprinkles on this cupcake. I'm actually starting to think I didn't use graphite before, and I used like black ball pen. I can never remember my own method. I have to look at my previous stuff, try to figure it out. What did I do? I'm so pleased. This is coming along really well. This was a really hard sketch to do because I did not know how things should look. I could not find reference images for so many of the poses, and I had to just kind of use my imagination. Right? So much better. I won't stop using the blue pencil though. I love using it. But it does really suck for my live streams. It's not very conducive to live streaming. But if I can find it, I can't actually find it. I can't find my old live streaming camera. It was an older version of the one I'm using now. And I can't find it. I did offer it to my sisters in case they were interested in using it for whatever. It could have been used for just like a webcam or anything. I don't think that they took me up on the offer, but I cannot find it anywhere. I'd like to set up another camera to be like a close-up camera. And then maybe the blue would be more visible if there was, I mean, you couldn't see the whole drawing, but you could at least see, and maybe I could like move it or whatever to show what I'm drawing at that moment, and it would be nice and up close. And instead of from top down like the lighting is, it could be from the side, maybe like this kind of angle. And then maybe that would also make it easier to see. I have to find the camera though to make that happen. Oh, this party hat. I spent a nice little chunk of time deciding exactly what kind of party hat did I want to do, because my typical is cone hat like this, of course, with a little pom-pom on the top. But this time I went for the tassels because I realized they sort of echo the shape of the leaves on the nest. There's some amount of thinking necessary here as part of the illustration process, but sometimes I get to just go on autopilot and just trace what I've already done, and I don't have to make any decisions. It's already been visually decided. Can't be completely autopilot though, because if there comes a time I need to make a decision, I want to be conscious that it has arrived. Okay, there's a little bit here still. I'm moving a little bit farther over this way, but let's make sure to get all this done too. Oh, what? Okay, I think the foot is coming out like this, maybe, and I think this is another toe and this is another toe. let's do this big leaf. Or should I do... Well, let's do the texture on the feathers. Then the belly of this baby, and there's a little bit of nest showing underneath. Now we can finally do this big leaf here. Another leaf underneath. This leaf draping down over the top. Starting to get... This one is an older leaf. It's starting to get dry and limp. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yay! I know, I just said it a little while ago. I'm so glad that this sketch turned out. It was very hard drawing these creatures. Sometimes it's really hard to just make stuff up. It feels like, oh, that would be the easiest because you're not constrained by the laws of nature. But it's actually very hard. Alright, how can I reach this wing without smudging? Because I'm definitely have been smudging all along. I don't think I used graphite before, but I've already gone this far. And actually I really like how strong the line is using graphite, so I kind of like it. But I keep smudging it, even though I'm trying not to. Right? Yep. It took so long to get to this point. But at least from this point on, I mean, maybe during the next phase of tracing, it won't be very easy to see, but it should get much better, especially once I start inking the lines on the final sheet. Wait. I think I drew that the opposite way. Because the innermost feathers should be closest to the body. So that will be on top here. Yeah, there we go. Start from this side to draw these feathers, so that they're overlapping correctly. So this one has to be redrawn as well. This is a good thing about using the graphite. There, that's better. Oh, Oh, a little branch right here. And then I think, oh, and this tip of this tail. Okay, there's still a tiny bit of stuff. I'm like, are we to the halfway point yet? Almost. Should I finish the body or should I finish... I guess I'll finish this area first. Although then again, if I draw this, I need to draw all this. So yeah, I'm going to go to the top. Shoot, I have to redraw that. There, that's better. For now, I've just given many of these griffins a sort of hollow eyes kind of look because I want to just add the shininess of the eyes and the pupils and stuff later with ink and or gouache. So I don't really need to do it now, but it just makes them look like they have this sort of zombie kind of stare or something. There's no pupil, there's no highlight. This is so tiny. It's hard to draw. Gotta get it right the first time, or else I'm gonna have to erase. And the more you have to erase, the more dirty the page becomes and makes it hard to do the rest of the tracing process. Whew! Okay. Okay. This wing. Maybe I should draw a cupcake next? No, because I need somewhere to put my hand. Okay. This wing. Right here I'm going sort of off script, I guess you could say, because I realized I also drew these feathers the wrong order. The inner ones should be on top, because that's how the wing can close. And now we can go back to the sketch. Guess I can do the cupcake now. The big delicious cupcake. I am so excited for my birthday because I definitely want to make some cupcakes. I think I'm going to make three different birthday desserts because I'm going to do a Lord of the Rings extended edition marathon over the course of 3 days. So I want to make like a British Isles inspired meal and a birthday dessert to go with each film. I haven't decided on the desserts yet. I'm thinking cupcakes, a regular cake, and brownies. Ooh, did you like them? I love them. I think they're so good. Like as a huge fan of the books, I see no detriment to having the extended Lord of the Rings. Now, I don't want to talk about the Hobbit movies. The Hobbit is my favorite book. Period. But the movies? No, we'll stick with Lord of the Rings movies. I love those. I rewatch them like, I don't know, every couple years probably. Not every year for sure, but on average probably every couple years. I'm glad you liked them. Have you read the books? So that, like, I guess I'm asking because then you can really see how much... I feel like the extended edition is kind of a love letter to the fans of the books because they included so much stuff that's directly from the original books. That's probably why I like it so much. Ooh! I'd give them a shot if you want something to read. Of course, it is an older... So it's already an older mode of writing compared to today. And then it's, like, written in an older style on top of that. So it can be hard to read for anyone who's not used to it. But I can highly recommend the Andy Serkis audiobooks. He does an awesome job. I have listened to the other audiobooks before, but that was so long ago. That was when I was a kid, when it was literally too hard for me to read the books, so I just listened to the audiobooks. So my mom was a huge fan, and I inherited all of her Lord of the Rings collection, so now I have my giant, well, not just Lord of the Rings, just Tolkien stuff in general. I have the other ones, and I've listened to them, but I don't remember them. And the Andy Serkis one is so good that I don't know if I'll ever listen to any other audiobook. Yeah. It's a different kind of storytelling. I love The Hobbit, though. I could just read that book over and over. And in the little texture details, a cupcake here. Just a little over 15 minutes left. Well, although I have been smudging a bit, I think I've kept it fairly clean. Pretty pleased with myself. I keep wiping my hand on my pants to get any extra graphite off. Oh, you have the Andy Serkis ones? Ooh, go for it, go for it. They're so good. I'm listening to his reading of the Silmarillion, and I've never even attempted the Silmarillion. I know it has a reputation. Its reputation precedes it. But so far the Andy Serkis reading, it is hard to follow, but it's hard to follow in the same way any mythology, like old mythology, is hard to follow. And that's what they have a letter at the beginning of the Silmarillion from Tolkien explaining that that's exactly what he was trying to create. The way there's Greek mythology or whatever, he was trying to create that for the British Isles. And so it reads like some mythology story. But eventually it sort of settles down into more like storytelling story. And the characters get easier to follow who's who and who's doing what. and I quite like it. It makes stuff in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit seem a lot different, actually, because the biggest thing is the elves. And they seem like almost godly figures. But then in the Silmarillion, and you learn about their history, and you're like, oh, they're not that much different than men or hobbits or anybody else. So, oh, be right back. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope you can make it back, but if not, thank you for joining me. It's always so great to see you. Ah, pet hair got on here. Hey. There. Got that off. The Bobaverse audiobooks. Oh, I think you told me about those. I remember, hold on. You sparked my interest. I'm going to go in my Audible and see. I think I have them on my wish list. I have so much to... I actually canceled my Audible subscription because I have so many... Like, I do not listen to audiobooks as much as I just read. Like, physical books. Wish list. Is this it? Oh, I think it is. These ones, right? See if it'll focus. Doesn't want to focus. This one, right? Yeah, it's in my wish list. The fourth is the best. Well, once I get through my massive list of stuff that I already paid for. So I have, I'm listening to Silmarillion right now. I have a random because it's not like a fantasy book or whatever. It's called Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I have that one. And The Children of Hurin, narrated by Christopher Lee. I'm super stoked for that one. I have all the Lord of the Rings dramatized, which is different from audiobook. And then I have The Chronicles of Narnia, complete audio collection, which includes narration by Patrick Stewart. I'm, again, super stoked for that one. And I have all the Harry Potter books in Japanese. So I have a huge library to get through. But my wish list is small. I just have those Bobaverse books that you recommended, and then these 3 books about, it's like a 3-book novel series about running, but it's like a fantasy world, but it's the main character does running. It's like running is the way they accomplish things or whatever. So creepy name. Which one was creepy? Oh, drive your plow over the bones of the dead. Yeah, it's more of like what I'd consider a literature book, I think, if I'm remembering what it's about. I don't really remember what it's meant to be about, but it's clearly good enough that I use my 1 a month credit to get it, so yeah, it's gonna be a while, yep. But wouldn't too wild. Gotcha. Would it be orated? Would what be orated? The lag between what I say and then by the time you hear it and then the time you respond, and then I've always forgotten what I was saying. So I always have so much to say. It makes me feel awkward because I'm like, it's not like I wasn't trying to pay attention, but there's just so much going on. Man, I am getting more and more jazzed the more I draw because it's really, really coming to life, and this is not even This is not even on the final piece of paper. The reading of an audiobook. Orated. Yeah, I wonder. Well, I think narrated is the term they use in the credits. But an orator is somebody who speaks. Maybe it's narrated because they're not thinking up the words. Hold on. Let's just look. Narrated. I love this kind of question, so. Narrated versus orated. Haha, wikidiff.com. Oration versus narration. What's the difference? As nouns, the difference between oration and narration is that oration is a formal, ceremonial speech, while narration is the act of recounting or relating in order the particulars of some action, occurrence, affair, a narrating. So I guess it wouldn't be, because it's not a formal, ceremonial speech. I love that. I'm seriously looking up that kind of stuff all the time. I love those little subtle differences between words and learning about them and using them. It's like I have a little treasure trove of tiny information like that. Like each info is a little gold coin in my treasure chest. Yeah, the more you know. That's a little star. I had never even thought of that before. This is a good question. .10 So I've been having fun and taking my time. I'm not going to rush. And that means I'm not sure if I will be able to finish this step today, but that's okay because I'll be back tomorrow with. I'm not even going to put this away or anything. I'll just leave it right where it is, come right back to it, because I don't have any other meetings or anything in between. In between now and next time I'll use this workspace. Hard to tell what is going on here. Oh, I just drew a bunch of extra lines. Okay, I gotta make a decision right here. There's multiple lines for the same feather. There. Boom. Decision made. Decision made. Boom. Right there too. Alright, this half is now done. Yay! Keep moving over. Oh, I really want a cupcake. My own drawing of a cupcake is making me hungry. I love sweets and especially cakes. For my 33rd birthday, I got 3 cakes. I was like, it's the 33rd birthday. This is a great excuse to get 3 different cakes. I got them from a fairly fancy grocery store bakery in town. And it was so nice having several different flavors and stuffing myself. Just totally stuffing myself a cake. When it's my 42nd birthday, I'm definitely going to have a Hitchhiker's Guide party. Everyone will have to bring their towel. We could watch the old TV series and the relatively new movie adaptation. That's a few years away, though. Let's see. I think I'm going to turn 38 this year. So that's 4 years. Oh yeah, I think it's from the 80s. It was a British, I mean, of course it was, but it was a British adaptation. And it was really good. I really recommend it if you can find, I don't know if it's streaming or something somewhere, but that was my first introduction to, well, actually, it's hard to say. My mom got me into it when I was like, I don't know, 7. Like, it was either that TV series or it was the same cast doing the audio, because it was the audio drama came first and then it got written into books. But it was either the TV series or the audio drama that I first saw, and then I read the books after that. It was really good. Well, it's actually kind of depressing, but not in a funny way, which is weird to say, but I don't know. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean. If you do watch it, you can let me know what you think. Now I want to watch it. I've seen it so many times and never get tired of it. And there's even in the movie the I don't remember when it came out, the 2000s probably, right? Or 2010s. But there is a reference to the Marvin the Paranoid Android that was in the TV series. That model or that robot is in that newer movie. Is like a nice reference to that. Because the Marvins look totally different between the two. So that was a little when I saw that, when I first saw the movie, I was like, oh, look, it's the old one. It was a nice little gesture to the fans or whatever. I liked it better the way I had it. I'm taking those lines away. Let's see, how are we doing on time? 4 minutes. Well, let's just keep going. We'll keep going until there's like 1 minute left, and then we'll pick somebody to raid. I just realized that this banner needs to be in front of this wing because I have the banner tied to this stick. Okay, so I've got to remember that. These banners are the areas where I most get to just relax and draw and not think too much. Which is super nice because the last couple weeks doing this sketch has been really intense. It's been a lot a lot harder than the previous one I did where I had a nice reference for almost everything. So a little less working from imagination for that one. Oh, thank you, thank you. That is a big compliment to me because I've been working towards that for so long. Making detailed pieces. And that was a big thing that I learned in my illustration education, I guess. I learned from my education is composition. I had never really considered it well when I was just teaching myself how to draw. So thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear that. I thought it was pretty good, but to hear it from someone else, yeah, it's a big boost. Okay. The only thing I realize I'm missing, and I want to do it now before I forget, is this one doesn't have, I know what, maybe I'll leave it on purpose. This one doesn't have the strap under the chin to hold the hat on, but there's so much going on here and the head is so tiny that I've just second guessed myself and I'm actually going to leave it. If I think about it tomorrow, then maybe I will add it then. But we're exactly at time. So let's find somebody to read. I think David Peterson was on. Oh wait, before we go raid, let me hold this up so you can see the progress that we made this time. I think it's focused. Let me double check. It's hard to tell because of the tracing paper. Okay, that's good. So here's how far we got today. Getting this drawing, so these flowers I added today as well. Getting this drawing onto the tracing paper so that we can then transfer it to a sheet of watercolor paper. Almost everything. Just this little corner left. So that won't take very long tomorrow, and then we can get to the transfer process. Yay! Ah, it's so exciting. Oh, Exie came back just in time. Welcome back. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am once again so pleased with how fast progress seems to go when I just get myself to sit down for 2 hours. It's so hard. It doesn't sound like such a hard thing to do, and yet it is so hard. Okay, let's rate David Peterson. So I gotta go over to my PC to do it because it's easier for me to interact with the streamer, and I really like to say hi and stuff. It's way easier for me to type on my PC. So I'm just gonna go over to my other workspace. And open a new instance of Twitch. There, boom. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm always so happy to be chatting with you guys. It makes it so fun to stream. It's like, it seriously makes it a completely different dynamic. Thanks to y'all always being here. Let's see, David Peterson with an E. Boom! Yay! Raid has been created. While the countdown runs, I would like to thank everybody for joining me today and let you know I'll be back tomorrow for more of this illustration, and I'm just going to leave it right where it is. And I'll be back here same time as usual, so I hope to see you then. But, yay, 4 of us. We're all ready to go, so let's go! Yay! Looks like it worked. So for anybody still on my channel now or watching the recording later, that's all for me today. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching.